Today I'm going to show you how to properly sew an agbada. I did a video on how to cut an agbada. Please check out that video. It's displayed on the screen. I will add it in the description. As you can see, it's looking very sharp, very nice and very beautiful. I'm going to show you how to actually finish this agbada. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel Luyasi. Hit the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video you get the first time notice of it. Hit me up in the comment section if you have any question. I respond very fast. As you can see, the edges are rough. This is a rough edge, so one of the things we'll do now is we'll iron this edges, iron it, fold it with the iron, and then stitch on it. We're going to actually do the same thing at the lower part of the agbada. Then we're going to join the sides together. The shoulder of the agbada is 50 inches while the agbada length is 46 inches. Now I'm going to place my tape from this edge of this shoulder and measure what we have here. We're working with a shoulder of 50 inches. So while I was cutting, if you watch the cutting video on how to cut an agbada, you see how I cut it. So you can see our agbada shoulder is 50 inches. This is the 50-inch mark. If you check my video on how to cut an agbada, you see where I actually cut it and added about 6-inch allowance. So let's check if that 6 inches is still there. So this is 50 inches. So these 50 inches now are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 inches of allowance on both sides. That means from this position we're going to fold it by 3 inches, and the other part we're going to also fold it by 3 inches. That's our allowance. From this position now I'm going to take out 3 inches. This will be our folding allowance. Then I'm going to this will be our folding allowance. So we're going to fold it inside like this, then use iron to press it. Then we're going to also fold this side inside, use iron to press it and stitch. I'm also going to measure 3 inches. So this will be our allowance. So now we've placed our mark for the fold. So I'm going to turn it upside down. Then that 3 inches mark, I'm going to take it in by 3 inches. So I'm going to place my tape. This is 3 inches. So I'm going to fold it like this. My allowance, I'm going to use my pressing iron. I'm going to press it to the wrong side. So this is the wrong side. I'm pressing it to the wrong side. This is the allowance I left on the side. I left an allowance of 6 inches. So I'm going to press 3 inches on both sides. As you can see, I'm pressing the 3 inches on both sides of the agbada. That's the allowance I left on this side. So I'm going to press 3 inches. Press 3 inches till I get to the other side. So now I've pressed the 3 inches. I'm going to, this is the one side I've pressed on the wrong side. So I'm going to open it up like this. Then I'm going to take this the 3-inch allowance. So I'm going to fold this edge, this rough edge. Now I'm going to fold it and align it with the crease line that I did with the iron, so that I will make sure it's pressed inside. So as you can see, I'm pressing this side to align with crease line. So as I pressed it this way, now I'm going to turn this side. So you see it's neatly pressed inside. I folded it inside. So this is where I will now put my gum when I'm stitching. So I'm going to do it all around. So I'm going to get a piece of hemming gum, cut it to the length of what I folded on the agbada, and I'm going to divide it into 2 this way. My hemming gum into 2. So I'm going to take my hemming gum that I've divided into 2. I'm going to place it inside my fold. Place it inside my fold like this. I'm going to take my pressing iron. I'm going to press. I'm going to do this all through. Now some tailors might decide to just gum this and leave it, but I still do a top stitch on top. So I'm going to press it. That's how we do it all through down to the end of it. Press it. So I'm going to press it. Now I've done it. I'm almost at the end. So that's how I'm going to put the hemming gum inside. Then I'm going to stitch on top. As you can see, I'm using a steam iron. It's best to use steam iron to avoid shine on your fabric. So that's how I'm going to stitch it to the end. So now I'm going to do this same thing. As you can see, it's pressed. So I'm going to do a top stitch on it later on. So I'm going to turn to the other side. When I turn to the other side, I'm going to still fold my 3 inches allowance. Then I'm going to press it. I'm going to still fold this one inside and put my hemming gum. Okay, as you can see, I've already gummed the side of the agbada. I've placed my gum, I've folded it in, and I've placed my gum. So I'm going to run a stitch along this line all through and even on the other side. But before I do that, I'm going to still do the same thing on the down part of the agbada. So I have an agbada length of 46 inches. So I'm going to place my tape at this point at the top of the shoulder, close to the neck. Then I'm going to measure my 46 inches. So this is my 46-inch mark. So this mark now, I'm going to still do the same thing I did on the side. I'm going to fold here inside, do the same thing on this back too, fold it inside. So when I fold it inside, I'm going to press, then I'm still going to fold here inside, just exactly what I did on the side. Then I press, then I'll still apply my hemming gum on this, then press. Okay, as you can see, I'm doing the same thing I did on the side. This is the down part. I folded it and I've inserted my hemming gum. As you can see, the hemming gum is inside. This is the last part, so that's how I'm going to fold it and insert my hemming gum, then hold it with my pressing iron. I'm going to take it to the sewing machine. Now I'm going to run my stitch along this folded. This is the side seam. I'm going to run my stitch all through. Then the down parts, this is the down part. I'm still going to run my stitch all through down. Let's go to the sewing machine. So I'm going to start with the side seam. This is the side seam. But what I do, instead of stitching it from the under, this is where I folded. I prefer stitching it from the top, because it reduces rumples along the fabric. So this is the wrong side. So this is where I folded. This is the side of the cloth. So I prefer stitching on this side. What you just do is just use your hand to locate where the fold ends, so that you know where you place your stitch. So I'm going to start from this down part of the side seam, and I'm going to stitch. I'm going to run a stitch all through, making sure I get it all along my stitch line. So I'm going to stitch. It actually helps if you're using an industrial machine like myself. It makes the work faster. You can see I'm stitching along this line. Catching the side seam. Ensuring I catch it on the other side. So if you check it now, you see I'm getting it on the other side. I already use my hand to place where the fold ends, so I'm getting it. Let's stitch it all through. I'm going to do the same stitch on this side, stitch it down to the end on the other side of the agbada. So I've done this stitch on both sides. This is one of the side seam. This is the other part of the side seam. So what's left now is this down part. So I'm going to run a stitch on this down part to close it. So I'm going to place it under the machine, place it, and I'm going to run a stitch. This is the lower part of the agbada. Make sure my stitch is very straight. Okay, as you can see, we've done our side stitch on one side of the agbada. Here's the same stitch on the other side of the agbada. I've done it on the lower part of the agbada, both sides. We've done our stitch. Here's the other side. We've done our stitch. So the final step, as you can see, let's go down to the side. This is the down part. This is one side of the down part of the agbada. This is one side of the down part of the agbada. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this good side facing good side. When I turn it this way, this is the side of the agbada. I'm going to turn it inside. Let me turn it inside out, down part. So I'm going to place this side, good side facing good side. I'm going to put it together. Then I'm going to run a stitch from this point, connecting it down to this point. I will do the same thing on the other side. Let's go to the sewing machine. As you can see, like I said, I'm going to close it so that it will join the front and the back together from the side. So I'm just going to take it like this. I'm going to run a stitch from this side, connecting it to this other side, as you can see. Okay, so now I'm going to close this other side the way I did on the first side. So that's how I'm going to close it. Back stitch. I'm going to stitch on this part. Once I stitch, I'm going to close it like this.